welcome back here to Bases Loaded. We are back. The trio is here. The tripod is here. Brandon, Blake, and Chris. Thanks everyone for stopping by. We appreciate it. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you see more of our future content. You can see our previous videos in the description box below. It's great to have Blake back. I love doing the show with the three of us here. But let's talk about something. It's like baseball related, but not baseball related. This whole thing with Diamond Sports Group. For those of you that don't know, that's basically the parent company that owns Bally Sports. Who there's a lot of regional sports networks. That's how the fans watch their games is via Bally Sports, or not watch because they charge too much. Or if you're the San Diego Padres, no longer get to watch games on Bally Sports. They are being broadcasted by Major League Baseball. And I saw someone's like, well, why does this broadcast look so much like MLB Network games? I wonder why. So, Chris, I just want to get your initial thoughts on when you saw that news that they weren't going to make that payment and that Major League Baseball was going to take over the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. It was so fast. Like, it was like on the 31st, they're like, by the way, this is the last game. Tomorrow we're going to have a new broadcast partner. And it was some uncertainty for a second, being like, are we even going to be able to get to see these guys? But I mean, they've done a great job with this transition. Like, all up until Sunday, every game is free on the MLB app, which is pretty cool. So people that maybe don't get to watch Padres all the time, I think you can jump on and actually watch those games this weekend. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. They put I have AT&T, and they got a channel right there, so we were able to watch the broadcast without interruption. So, and the cool thing is you're finally able to purchase an extra like package to watch all of your in-market games.
A
So
lot of people are pissed about that, by the way. I've been seeing the comment, like people like, if I already have MLB.TV because I'm a season ticket holder, why should I have to pay extra amount to watch my team?
you
Like a
didn't pay
lot.
for MLB TV, so why does it
It's
matter?
like you didn't pay for it anyway. I saw a lot of outrage over it. I'm like, it is what it is. Like, just deal with it. It is good that it's still Dawn and Mud. I know a lot of people were worried about that. So if it's being done by MLB Network, are they going to bring in their own commentators? Luckily,
Well, it's
MLB
the hosts
realized the
are
fans love
ones
these
that,
two. Like, we
yeah.
have to make sure that they stay.
The hosts are tied to the Padres anyways. They're not employees of Bally's in the situation. But I know the pre and post game, because they're only doing 15-minute condensed versions, and the last couple have just been with the broadcasters. So that might be time for the demise for the Padres pre and post game staff, which would suck because, you know, people are losing their jobs at the end of the day. But,
Yeah.
you know, I truly think we're going to get to a point with not only MLB, but every major sport where everything is going to be available in packages and streaming, and they're going to have their own networks, because it's a huge cash revenue for them. And the way people stream everything now, it's not like you're going to lose a ton of viewers if you switch over to streaming only, or, you know, like work locally with cable providers for the net to put a network on there. But yeah, I think we're seeing kind of the future of what's going to happen with baseball and professional sports in general.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you
what.
know,
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
man.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna talk about this because Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that you were still around here, but you know, we in Houston had to deal with this. Not a lot of people complained about it, but avid baseball fans were upset about it because for 3 years, you know, we were blacked out. You had to have Xfinity cable to watch the Astros, and of course, that was during the 100 loss seasons and things like that. You
Yeah.
know, when we didn't have anybody, but it killed me because I was a baseball fan. You know, um, some of my first like tweets when I first joined Twitter was, "Yay, I actually get to watch the Astros because they were on MLB Network." You know, as a regional like coverage, and for some reason it wasn't blacked out with us being in Houston because I've been a direct TV guy since I was a kid. We've always had direct TV, but I know the pain. I know the feeling of uncertainty and stuff like that. But Chris, you nailed it, and that's what I was going to say, and I was going to segue into revenue is going to generate what's going to be the outcome finally of this. When the MLB finally gets a brain and catches up, they're going to probably do what the NFL does. You know, I think what is it? YouTube's going to have their Red Zone channel this year.
Yep.
You know, if somebody was smart, I mean, I know Apple TV has it in place and stuff like that, but an Amazon or somebody like that, if they just came with a buttload of money and was like, just give it all to us, and they did something cool where you could just basically go pick and choose what you wanted to watch, and even had like what DirecTV has in the strike zone that just jumps from game to game, like Red Zone. I would literally buy that. You know what I mean? Because the nights that the Stros aren't playing, or if it's a later start or something like that, I want to watch baseball. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm just an avid fan. Um, I don't see how that hasn't happened yet. And honestly, I feel like it's making it to where the game is it's yes, the game is growing organically, we all know that, but if this happened and it came, your frequent flyer fan would become an avid fan if it was able to get on more people's screens, or this thing that's literally on the hip of everybody all the time.
I think what Major League Baseball is wanting to happen is the rights to default back to Major League Baseball and not each individual franchise. Because
100%.
if the league has the broadcast rights, I think what they want to do is sell it to the highest bidder. So whether that's Apple TV, Amazon Prime, whatever, YouTube TV,
Give
whoever.
me Apple TV. I want everything in 8K. It looks so beautiful. Just give me
It
everything in Apple
does.
TV.
And-
iPhones.
and-
Everyone's filming on iPhones.
What's funny, Chris, is when we were on vacation and I think the Stros were playing the Phillies. It was on Apple TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were sitting there listening to it, and Rachel just rolled her eyes. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I freaking hate listening to the announcers on here." And I go, "Oh, dude, Chris told me that like you can
Yeah.
scroll down." And I went down and I scrolled down, and you were able to listen to like the local radio broadcast. And I was like, "This is amazing." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. Like I love the camera angles and all that on there, but if you could give me the local voices of the guys that actually know who like Chaz McCormick is, or Jake Myers on the Astros, give me that all day long.
Yeah, like that's the one thing about when these games run national, whether it's Fox Sports 1, Apple TV Plus, you can tell like they did a quick crash course like that day. They just don't know these guys as well. That's why I love preferably to listen to the local guys, because you can tell like they spend day after day with these guys. So they just know them. Like they can just tell better stories.
Well, it's cool too because they travel with them. They're they're at the back of the plane with these guys when they're traveling and stuff like that. So, like you said, it's a family. These guys, like in the girls that are on the ground right next to the dugout and stuff like that, they interact with these guys on a daily basis. So you're 100% right on that. They know them. They're family basically.
So this wasn't the only story about the Padres this week. They picked up off waivers Gary Sanchez, former Yankee Gary Sanchez.
Already the best hitting catcher in over 20 years we've had, for the record.
Offensively, he's done very, very well. I think he's had like 17 at bats. He has 2 homers, back-to-back games, by the way. I think they signed him signed him Monday on their off day, and he played Tuesday. I think he played all 3 he played all 3 days, right?
Yeah, he DH today too. So, but yeah, he caught the first 2.
Do we want to talk about that atrocious thing he did yesterday? I don't know if it caused the loss of the game, but you can definitely see why he's not the best defensive catcher. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Actually, I have let me upload that real quick because I still.
You know what? You know what will be fun? I was watching my beloved AEW Dynamite live last night, so I did not watch the end of the game. I actually have not seen the highlight yet because I did not want to upset myself. So we can watch it here for the first time.
So this is the final play. So it's a base hit to left. Runner's on second. Look at where he is. Look at where Gary Sanchez is, and look at where the home plate is. Look at this.
Well, he's used to playing in a really tiny ballpark like Yankee Stadium, so he probably, was confused by where the fence was.
again, I don't know with that did he think the ball was going to be overthrown so he was backing it up? Or I don't know. Like he's been with the team barely 72 hours. But man, did he get torn apart badly on Padres Twitter after that, after that moment. Like everyone was blaming him for the loss. But I'm like, Hader didn't pitch exactly that great in the ninth. So offense only got 2 hits on the day. So there's that. It's not entirely on Gary Sanchez, but just that was so bad. I watched that. I'm like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Well, and that's the thing. I have a friend that follows the Yankees a lot. He told me one thing. Like he's like, get ready for the Gary Sanchez experience. Like he's gonna hit, but he's gonna do some boneheaded things defensively here and there. And case in point. But if he's gonna hit home runs, I will gladly sacrifice that because Austin Nola has over 100 at bats this year. He has 1 home run.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Sanchez has 7 at bats. He has 2 home runs.
And see, I'm with you too on our catcher situation. I'm one of the biggest Maldonado fans and supporters. He gets torn apart all the time on Astros Twitter because he's almost an easy out all the time in our 9-hole. But defensively, he is probably one of the top 3 catchers in the MLB.
And I would take that in a heartbeat.
And not only that, but the way that he studies film and he knows how to call games. I'm with Chris. You'll take one or the other. And you know what? As crazy as it sounds, the bats are cold right now, and I kind of feel like it's flip-flopping back and forth. I mean, dude, I've gone back and forth because I have Snell and Yu Darvish, on my fantasy team. And the one time I finally I've been hot or cold on, do I start Snell? Do I not start Snell? I benched him last night. And he scores 22 points, Finally has a great outing. Finally has 7 Ks and stuff like that. But
it's June. It's June. Get ready.
I was going to say it's not April. It's June.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his arm, his confidence. It takes him 6 or 7 starts. He's looked really good his last few starts.
For sure.
He's doing it again.
But what I want to get back to, the last thing I'm going to say about the Gary Sanchez situation, he's got, let's face it, we can ridicule and make fun of the whole thing. But, what I see a lot of times is a guy that we make fun of and we're like, dude, he's lost it. He's done. It doesn't happen all the time, but you have that 1 out of 10 time that a guy that you think, oh, he's washed up, he's done, we're not going to see him again. He goes into a circumstance and he gets with the team and it's the right fit. And I mean, you can't say this more evident about it. Even a guy that's even on Chris's squad right now, like Odor, when he left the Rangers, I was like, dude, that guy's done. He's never going to play MLB again. He was atrocious this last.
He's 29, by the way. I thought he was way older than
right. That was the funniest thing I realized. I was like,
yeah, he was so just dead when he was at Texas, But then he moved around and
Yankees.
He's gone to the Yankees. He was on Baltimore for a little while, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then now he's landed, in San Diego. Of course, he's probably just going to be a role player for the rest of his career, but the guy's made it happen. I mean, we all know the New York effect. We all know how hard it is to play there under the lights and under the expectations of going out there and always competing for a championship. And it's kind of cool to see these guys get a second chance. I mean, Joey Gallo's doing actually decent somewhat in Minnesota right now. The only guy that we've kind of seen kind of struggle lately, obviously, is Voit. But at the same time, Voit already kind of had his Cinderella moment. I don't know, man. We could spend all day making fun of it, but it's a need. And not only was it a need, but it's a guy that you can't pitch around regardless. You have to respect him at the plate still. So I don't know. It could work. And like Chris said, once you get another backup back and forth, you could have a rotation system going on, and maybe he gels better with different pitchers in different circumstances. And obviously it's going to be really nice. You could put him in DH if you want to, or bringing him off the bench, in a crucial moment when you need a run or somebody's in scoring position, obviously.
Well, I
Yeah,
think Sanchez is a really big piece right now because, and we were talking about this before we came on, but I think at this point he's just the stopgap for Luis Campusano because Campusano went from out for like 2 weeks to 2 months, and we all know Austin Nola is not an everyday major league catcher at this point. Like, there's really not much positivity he provides. So if Gary Sanchez can give us like 2 to 3 weeks of like quality baseball right now, I think that's going to be huge for this team. And then
Right.
speaking on Odor, like the one big thing about Odor is with Manny's injury, he's been able to step in. He's been able to fill that role right now. And it's been a big lift because, I mean, we can talk about the Padres struggles like all we want. But like if Odor doesn't make some of those clutch hits in these last couple of games, that's another couple other games they've lost, and that could affect them in the long run. But yeah, I mean, Gary Sanchez, we'll see what he does. It's been an impressive start, but it's really we don't need this for the entire season. We just basically need this till July 1st.
For sure.
yeah. Chris, you brought it up. If Odor probably doesn't get that hit against Boston on that game that we went to, they potentially lose that game because that gave them a
The
boost of confidence. I'm
the
pretty sure there was
Nationals game that he hit the late home run with 2 outs in the ninth. Like if he doesn't hit
and
that,
I don't know if they won the game, but he had one against the Yankees too. He had a late inning home run, but I think that was Sunday. I think they lost, but still, he's
yeah, I think
been
they lost that one now.
like his average was like 130 like 2 weeks ago. He's at like 220 right now. Like he's played very well since they've had to basically play him every day with Manny being out. Like they're 2.5 games back of the final wild card right now. They just need to stay right there. Stay within 3 games until you get Manny back. And like you said, Luis Campusano. Or just don't play Austin Nola. Like Blake brought it up. Martin Maldonado, not the best offensive catcher, but he is a phenomenal defensive catcher and can call a game very well. If Nola could do that, I think fans would be fine with him hitting a buck 30. But he doesn't. He's not a great defensive catcher. I guess he is a decent catcher for the staff, but he's not amazing. He's just average.
Yeah, and it's pretty funny when you think about it because we talk about him not being a good catcher overall. The Padres had the best team ERA in the month of May. And what I love about this thing is they had the best ERA in the month of May. They had a 10-16 record.
Yeah.
Like how often do you hear like a team ERA is best in baseball? You're like, oh, okay, they obviously had a winning month. They did not. And Austin Nola came up in a ton of situations. Then he just stunk the bed, whether he hit into a double play, whether he just struck out looking, whatever. Like
If
there were
they
so many chances in those games that he was directly responsible for.
so they had a period where they lost 3-4, 3-5, 2-4, 2-4, 0-4.
Yeah.
You get a couple runs there. That's probably 2 or 3 wins. You turn around, it's 500. Then they're right there for that final wild card. Like pitching is not the issue with them right now. It's that offense. Now they just have
Well,
a
the good
7-run inning today.
I was gonna say in the month of June they're hitting 428 with runners in scoring position. So I think everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine.
I mean, they just gotta show progress. Like they don't need to try and fix it all right now. We still have 2/3 of the season to go. Like we're just past what are we? What was that 56 games? So yeah, we still have over 100 games still to go. So still a lot to figure out. Just hopefully the Padres can just stay above water. But if they don't figure it out, they may fall behind the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks won today, by the way. Just gonna say, tied
The floor
for
is yours.
yes, tied for the best record in the National League, tied for first place in the National League West. Corbin Carroll gets a walk-off hit. By the way, his first ever career walk-off in any level, little league, junior high, high school, minor league. Like that's amazing to me. Like Corbin Carroll is on pace for 27 home runs and 49 stolen bases. National League Rookie of the Year is his Duluth. Like, I know everyone likes to bring up Spencer Steer from the Reds is doing pretty well. Alvarez from the Mets. Everyone likes to bring up Senga from the Mets too, but I'm like, how can you not give it to Corbin Carroll if he finishes with like 20 plus home runs and almost 50 stolen bases?
You
And
know
if
how
the
I know
Diamondbacks
that he's
finish,
doing phenomenal?
how?
Fantasy alert.
Because he's on my fantasy team.
Because he's on my fantasy team.
And honestly,
Yeah.
right now, he is the number 4 scoring outfielder in all of fantasy.
Yeah, because he's getting
Wow.
those points. Like there was, I think it was Tuesday or Monday. He gets a single, steals second, steals third, and then scores on a sac fly. I'm like, that is small ball at its finest.
You know, honestly, I think if he wins Rookie of the Year, write it down right here, right now. If he wins Rookie of the Year, I'm buying a Corbin Carroll jersey.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
love
you
it.
should.
And the reason why is because not only is he a good player, but he's got the greatest number ever. And it was always
7.
the number that I wore. And it's always
Here's
the
the
number that my
question.
kids wear is 7.
What Diamondbacks jersey are you gonna get? You've got like
Dude,
35 to choose from.
it's my excuse to buy the Serpentine jersey. Okay.
Good, good.
Okay, excellent choice.
I don't know why polls are always like that is one of the worst City Connects. I love that.
Dude, I love them.
I love it.
Actually really, really like. I think out of a majority of all the City Connects, Arizona is one of the most underrated ones.
And I love every Friday home game. They will wear it every Friday home game, so they're supposed to wear it tomorrow. They have a big series coming up against the Braves, who just lost 2 and 3 to the A's. How the hell does that happen?
It's the fans were behind him in Oakland. That's what it was. It's all that
You mean the
deafening
whole
noise.
20 fans that they have in their stands.
It's like 2,000.
It's so sad. Like, I think, oh God, what's their win total right? Like, it's not good. 12 and 46
12
right
and
now.
46. They're killing it. They're killing it.
12
You're 2 and 8 in their last
46.
10, man. The streak is coming.
The streak is coming. They cannot finish with like 120 plus losses. That is a terrible look. Terrible look for.
I guess we talked about it last week, but we didn't get Blake's thought. Like, do you think they can get over 50 wins?
Who?
The way they're the
A's.
No.
He didn't even have to think. He was like, no, not happening.
They've only played the Astros twice this season. Anaheim beaten up on the Rangers, have beaten up on them multiple times. I think the Rangers have played them already 3 or 4 series this year. But I mean, the Mariner, dude, honestly, their moment happened when they beat the Braves 2 games out of 3 this last week, which was hilarious.
They're gonna hang a banner.
Well, what's hilarious about it is I follow one of my buddies is from Atlanta, you know. Yeah, I texted him. I was like, dude, you lost the series to the A's. And he goes, I don't know what's more embarrassing, that we lost to the A's or the fact that they're our minor league affiliate, because they've obviously gotten so many guys from them on off-season contracts. But dude, I just don't. That's a bad team, you know. That's a really, really bad team. I mean, obviously, I've gotten to watch them now really, really close with the 2 series that the Astros have had. I went to the game and everything like that 2 Saturdays ago, and they played the A's. And look, I get it, and I get that it's easy for us to sit on this computer and talk about performance levels and things like that. But the pitching that I saw, coming out of the bullpen and stuff like that, is not MLB caliber pitching. It's not. And I get that it's easy to judge, but it is not top tier level talent. And look, I get it. I get that it's a business, and I get the reasoning behind all this, but this team is not on a standard to be up here playing at this league. And it's sad for the guys that are having to take the field daily. I know they're still getting a paycheck, but it sucks for that fan base, because not only they're about to lose their team, but they're not even going to go out with a swan song. You know, they've literally had a dumpster fire there for the past 2 seasons. Yeah. And like this right here, it's instead of throwing water on it, they've just completely just hosed the gas all over it at this point. They can't get people to go there, basically. I actually had a buddy that was in the California area, and he went to one of the games. He took a picture before walking into the stadium, and literally there was more orange in the line than there was green. And it's sad to see a city like that lose it, like Oakland and stuff like that. And I didn't even know this because we haven't played, but the broadcasters said that the reason why we don't hear the drums this season is because literally the drum crew boycotted this season.
Yeah.
Because they're leaving. It's not the fact that they told them they couldn't do it anymore. It's the fact that they are doing it to boycott that the team is actually moving, which I thought was actually kind of cool that, you know, they did that to like state how upset they are with the franchise. But the crazy thing about it is they showed the people, and the actual people that did it are still there, and the fans, because they're season ticket holders.
Yeah. Now there was some positive news, I guess you could say, about the A's last week. We got a rendering of the proposed stadium in Vegas, literally right on the end of the strip. Like if that's where it's gonna be, that is a great place. Parking, getting to and leaving is gonna be a pain, but
you're gonna have to stay on the strip if you're going to a game. Like, that's not gonna be like a locals friendly venue, and that's what's interesting about it is I don't know if you can sustain an MLB team with no home fans. And it's like, if ownership stays, they're not putting competitive baseball on the field. It's just, why would you want to spend money and invest on this team? So it's going to be really interesting to see how this all falls.
I think you're going to get people to go.
Seat 30,000. Like, when I heard it was, it's not that
it's perfect.
big. It is for the A's. Yes.
I think that people are still going to go to it because you have to think about it. It's the AL, and you have to think about how many people are there from out of town. And how
it's going to be all road fans,
yeah. And how many people are going to be like, dude, I don't care. Like, obviously, we're going to be in that division, so I know a bunch of people that are going to be like, hey, we're going to Vegas this weekend because we're not only going to Vegas, but we're going to see. We're going to see it, but like Yankee fans, national fans, and stuff like that, it's going to be their excuse to either go have a guys' weekend, catch the games and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, if they don't have a home crowd, it's going to be pretty easy to get those $30, $20 tickets like before game time and stuff like that, just to be able to go to a couple of games. I get, and I hear you loud and clear on local fan, Brandon, but the traveling fan and how many people are there and doing tourist stuff. The biggest thing for them, what I would think, is to pitch day games and having day events there. That way you're not competing with stuff that's going on at night and stuff.
The only problem though is it's Vegas, it's the desert, it's opened, it's an open air stadium. So that's the only reason.
Wasn't it going to be a retractable roof?
Partially retractable roof is the proposed plan right now.
Okay.
Partially.
Swamp coolers, man. Brandon, you know about those swamp coolers.
Coolers. But no, I like Blake said, like, this is not a MLB quality team. It's just,
I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, yeah, they have the Raiders, and it's football, and football's just always going to do good. But if they can literally have the fan base that they have with the NHL team there, the MLB is going to be successful.
Yeah,
they're not going to be handed a expansion draft where they get to pick off of every team and make the Western Conference Finals in the first year. I hate Vegas.
I know. A lot of people hate the Vegas Golden Knights for that reason. That first season,
go Panthers.
They just got the cherry pick, and that's why they made it that first season.
Let's go Houston Aeros, baby.
Houston Aeros.
Soon. Sorry, Brandon.
TBA.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. At this point, after what happened there with that vote,
not only are they, real quick, it's not baseball.
By the way, I've been to an Arrows game. When I lived there, I went to an Arrows game.
Not only
minor league hockey's the best.
Not only are they talking about it, but they are already talking about not even messing with the Toyota Center and building their own arena here in Houston for NHL.
That worked out so well in Glendale.
Yeah, worked out great. So just real quick, let's just talk about the worst division in all of Major League Baseball, the NL Central. Everyone is garbage. They're all terrible. Like they're all like going on losing streaks. Like the fact that the Cubs, who are 24-31, they're only 4.5 games out of first place. That's atrocious. Like there's going to be one of these wild card teams probably in the West or the East that's going to have a better record by 10 games that will not be able to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that about both Central divisions, though,
I was
because
about to
the
say the
AL
same
Central
thing.
is also terrible, and their bottom is a lot worse than the bottom of the Central because the Cubs are only 7 games back or 7 games below 500. Kansas City 17-39, and then the White Sox are 23-35. So it's not like the world beaters over there either.
There's 8 teams in the AL currently right now that would be in first place in the Central.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Angels would be in first place in both Central divisions, by the way.
Yeah. Well, not after tonight because they are currently losing to our beloved Houston Astros.
Yeah. I think it was yesterday. Both Shohei and Mike Trout hit bombs against the White Sox.
Yeah,
Shohei
that second Shohei one was ridiculous.
Yeah, Shohei had 2, man. 16 points fantasy, by the way. 16
he's
points.
still, I'm sorry, he's still for me front runner AL MVP.
Oh,
I know everyone likes to bring up, well, Judge June 1st last year had 18 home runs. He has 18 home runs now. I'm sorry. When Shohei literally is the best pitcher in the AL and the best hitter in the AL, I'm sorry, you have to give it to him. Especially
well, let's
if
face it
they
too.
stay
We
where
really
they're at.
Yeah.
Where they're in contention too. Like if the Angels can be in contention for a wild card, I think he gets more votes for me personally.
You could have made an argument last year, but the way that he's playing this year, it's Shohei so far, obviously.
But he's not going to be an Angel August 1st. He's going to be an Arizona Diamondback.
Okay.
Oh my God! Y'all can see Diamondback's Twitter. Like they're like, we should go after Shohei. Someone brought up that so Corbin Carroll grew up in Seattle. Guess who his favorite player was growing up? Lefty speedster, Ichiro. Someone brought up that Corbin Carroll could be the next player to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. I'm like, pump your brakes, y'all. Like that is a wild prediction. Now, if Corbin finishes with over 30 home runs and over 50 stolen bases, Diamondbacks win first place. I mean, think about it more. I still think it's absolutely outrageous.
You talk yourself into it, Brandon.
I'm like, well, first of all, Ichiro wasn't exactly a rookie when he came.
Yeah, very true.
I've already had the biggest sign of where it's going to happen. Okay, guys, I've already seen it. Okay, so Micah's got MLB The Show. He's got his own road to the show. And so the other night, he's like, let's make one. And I go, okay, well, if we're going to make one, we're just going to do totally random. So we just closed our eyes and random and everything like that. And get this, we landed on pitcher, and then we landed on relief pitcher. And then we just pushed a bunch of buttons. And lo and behold, we got drafted by this team called the San Diego Padres, and we came up so dominant at relief pitching, and with the injuries that occur, we got called up. Okay. The next season, you roll into the next season after you do your contract negotiation. We went and looked at the depth chart, and on the depth chart, there was a guy named Shohei Ohtani the next season as a Padre. So I'm thinking it's going to be a sign, guys. Okay. I think it's a sign.
Trade him for Juan Soto straight up. Let's go.
But no, we have talked about this on numerous episodes. Do the Angels trade Shohei by the trade deadline?
I don't think so. I keep
I'm
going
no
back
too.
and forth. I keep going back and forth, but I think that the owner is that stupid not to. But at the same time, too, I don't know, man. I keep going and looking at everybody's schedule because it always seems like you either have a front end like hard schedule or your back end is hard. And I think that he's just going to be stubborn to think that he could somehow pull out a wild card spot and have those guys in the playoffs for once, and then try to get that as momentum to get him to try to somehow re-sign with the Angels.
That's exactly where I'm at. I just see a scenario where I think the Angels are going to hover right above 500. Like overall, they're not a bad team. They showed they can score runs. They've overall played pretty decently this year. And Trout and Otani, like knock on wood, really haven't had any setbacks this year, which has been one of their huge Achilles heels. But yeah, I think they're going to try to make a move for the playoffs. And if anything, I do think there's actually a pretty good chance that he stays in Anaheim just because it's he's like such a valuable player, not only on the field but off the field when it comes to marketing and everything else. Like
Especially on the
you
West
have
Coast.
to take that shot, and like I'm sure he's comfortable there. And if they can show that they're willing to put a winner out, like that's just going to help their chances even more. So
If he wins MVP, he's getting 600 million. I'm calling it now. If he wins MVP, he's like,
I don't
so
think
I
he
won 2 in
needs
3
to.
years.
I'm with you, Chris. I don't think he needs to either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's gonna get some serious thrown.
I think Shohei could have Tommy John surgery tomorrow and still get $600 million. And I'm being for real. I know it sounds funny,
Yeah.
but
No,
I'm
I'm
for
with
real.
you.
There's gonna be
It's
there's gonna be someone. I mean, didn't the Padres throw like 550 at Judge?
If there's something stupid like that, yeah.
It was more money than the Yankees, and apparently they were really close
by
to
a
that
lot.
deal. Like that, the Padres owner, he doesn't care how much. He's buying everything.
Papa Pete's not taking it to the grave, man. He's spending it all.
It's just, unfortunately, it's not helping the team right now. But again, we still have over 100 games to go, so a lot can change. But I believe I saw for them to like finish at like 80 something wins, like they got to win like 60% of their games. So there's still a lot left, but they have to figure out this hitting situation. Like a lot of their players are struggling. Cronenworth, not it. Carpenter, not it. Cruz, not it. Soto has figured it out. Machado's been out, so we have to wait and see. Will he figure it out once he's back? Xander kind of came back down to earth after a really hot first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
it's.
I know. I was watching it too. I think that's why we were both silent, looking to the right because Shohei Ohtani was batting. But no, with this Padres team, I think like we talked about from the beginning, there's over 100 games left. Like this team can get hot in an instance, and obviously the road trip didn't go the way they wanted it to, but it was still a winning road trip. You know, it took 2 of 3 in Washington, took 2 of 3 in Miami, and lost 2 of 3 in New York. But that could have easily been a 2 of 3 there too. So just gotta keep finding ways to win series, ride that momentum. And yeah, I think Manny, I think rest was the best thing that he could ask for, especially how much he's been on the field the last few years. Like his durability playing through the ankle injury last year. I think the opportunity to give him a chance to kind of reset, I think he's going to come back hot.
Look, I'm going to be very careful saying this because you don't know when the rebound's going to happen. But the most dangerous team is a juggernaut team that finally has that moment where everybody starts to click all at the right moment.
Yeah.
Because that momentum shift isn't a 1 or 2 game series. It's a month and a half long of baseball, and it's lightning in a bottle. The bad thing about it is you don't know when it's going to happen. And the bad thing about it is I've seen it with my own team in 2016 where they made the playoffs in 15 and then came out completely flat-footed one season, but then the next year in 17 went out and won it all. I feel like this Padres team is that team. I'm not necessarily saying that it's not going to happen this year, but once this team finally has that whatever moment, whether it's a player only's meeting or whatever, and that team ignites, I'm still saying it's going to be one of the most dynamic teams this season. We're just still waiting for that fuse to finally go off.
Yeah. If the Padres get hot, watch out. Like Blake said, like if they all start hitting, we could see them have a month where they go 18-10. And boom, just like that, they're back in it. Like they're that talented. If all four are there with Tatis, Soto, Machado, and Bogarts, I think if just all four of those get hot for 2 weeks, they could go on like an 8 to 10 game win streak.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people want to give up and say, "Oh, it's not working for them." I'm like, we're not even at game 60 yet. There's still over 100 to go. So just relax. Just relax, y'all. Any parting thoughts for the pod today, Blake?
Oh, of course. Thank you for finally letting me have a moment here. Hold on a second, guys. So one thing I want to say is we talked real briefly about coming on and stuff like that, about the fiasco of how we offended the A's, scoring 10 runs amongst 10 fans. It was funny, but what a lot of people didn't realize is they literally pegged Abreu after he celebrated hitting his first home run.
I love how he slid after he hit it.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, it was all fair game because if you guys didn't really see it, dude, that dugout was ready to go after he got plucked. Okay. He pushed him back, but look, Yordan Alvarez is a man of many faces, but I've never seen Yordan pissed off before. And Yordan was ready to kill somebody after that. But Abreu
do we
kind of
want to see a pissed off Yordan? Like he's already one of the best players.
Yeah.
If you get him pissed off, he's just God, he can take
to
it
push
to a whole level.
To push him back was for Abreu to be the veteran to like push everybody back and put his hand up and basically say, okay, I see how it's going to be, and just take his base was good. We got guys heating up here. Pitching is still a fiasco. Lance got pushed back again. They shut him down.
He's on my IL fantasy bench. Can you please get him on the phone?
I know. But what it does to me is we've got to be talking behind the scenes. We got to go get a pitcher. We can't keep having these guys. They need to get a pitcher at the trade deadline. Breggie's getting hot. Pena's getting hot. We're getting our core back. But I want to leave you with this, okay? The king of New York, the real king of New York is back, okay? Jose Altuve, after returning from the IL. Listen, guys, just listen, okay? We are on his 9th game, okay? 9th game back, okay, that he's actually played. He set out last night. He is batting .370, okay? He's already homered twice. He has an OPS of 1.044. And if you are ready and waiting, we are on countdown mode. He is 52 hits away from hitting 2,000 career hits.
Oh, he'll get that for sure.
So, look, heart and soul's back. The only thing that this team really needs to focus on is what are we going to do? Relief pitching is actually starting to step up and do what we know that this team has done. But we're in a dynamic spot. We really need to figure out, hey, what's going on with Brantley? Is the shoulder really this bad? And are we even going to even see him this season? Like, we really need to be honest with ourselves at this point. But with McCullers, this lingering forearm injury that kind of held him out last season, that happened obviously in the playoffs 2 years ago against the White Sox, is very concerning to me. I don't know. I want the guy back, but I kind of want him back at the healthiest point. But we're going to have to go do some stuff because honestly, I could see us needing to go out and get 2 more arms because Hunter Brown's done good. He got blown up last night, but you guys have heard me talk about him on the pod before. Forrest Whitley is this guy that keeps on getting ramped up in our minor league system. He's tall, he's lean, he throws hard. He's got all the aspects of being a great pitcher, but he can't stay off of the injury bug. And the worst thing that happened was, I think it was a week ago, this either Friday or Saturday last week. He got pulled in the third inning and his arm was just dead. So we've kind of already used 3 or 4 guys out of our AAA system. That's not going to be something that we're going to be able to lean on, obviously, after the All-Star break. So this team is going to have to be trade happy, and we're going to have to go get some arms to get us ready to go for a deep playoff run this season.
Diamondbacks the exact same way. We have Gallen and Kelly. That's it. The other 3 spots are very hit and miss. Tommy Henry does well occasionally. We just got back Davies. So yeah, I think once we get around the All-Star break, I'm definitely hoping that they're gonna make a move for a good, legit starting arm for that 3rd spot, for sure. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Chris, any parting thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the child in the Padres minor league system.
Oh my lord!
Happy 17th birthday to Ethan Salas. He celebrated his last day as a 16-year-old in Low A with the Lake Elsinore Storm. Went 2 for 3, ripped a double, looked amazing as a DH. Caught last night, had a great defensive play, and went 2 for 2 with 2 walks. So just amazing. It's crazy to think that you see a kid that young being able to actually play in the
roster.
I'm assuming there is, and he's nowhere near close. But just the overreaction of could we see him in August or September just makes me laugh.
No.
Like,
What I'm saying
don't
is,
ruin
could
the
he
kid.
be
Don't rush the kid.
Opening day next year? Could he be there?
We'd have to look up to see what the age things are. I don't think that's even possible, barring a bunch of injuries. I mean, I think they'd still roll Austin Nola out there over him because you don't want to bring a kid up that young and mentally destroy him by catching up to the majors. But I mean, just a really fascinating story to keep an eye on. Like a 16-year-old playing professional baseball just blows my mind.
Can I ask a serious question?
Of course.
Is he 16 or is he like Miguel Tejada 16?
Well, he was born in Florida.
Where did you get this?
So
Where did you get this? Remember that interview? This is over. This is over.
Good. But yes, no, he is a legitimate 16 or 17 now. Sorry, 17. Happy birthday to the 17-year-old.
I remember that so well because Miguel Tejada was on the Astros when that interview happened. But no, it's cool. Miggy. It's cool because honestly, Chris, like we went and watched one of our kiddos on the baseball team. He's got an older brother, and he was a freshman, but he made the JV squad. You know, that's a big deal. You know, because a lot of sophomores are still, you know, on the second JV team. He actually made the upper JV team, and we went and watched, and I was like, man, these kids are actually really good. There's a great baseball program out at Magnolia West, and I was impressed with a lot of the way they played, and I started thinking about it when I saw that story. I started talking to my wife about it. I was like, dude, this kid is literally like he should be going into his junior year or in his junior year of high school, and he is literally playing low A ball right now. You know, like that.
It's crazy.
There's grown men that have families that are literally like around him right now trying to fulfill a dream. You know what I mean? And he's like probably intimidated to talk to girls right now. Okay.
But he can mash a goddamn baseball.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah. I saw a tweet that said someone's like, bold prediction, he'll be the starting catcher opening day next year. I'm like, I don't even know legally if you can.
It's child labor laws, guys. Child labor laws.
I'm like, it has to be at least 18. So I was trying to find something. All I could find is the requirements to be in the draft, not to play at the major league level.
Well, I feel like if you're allowed to be in the draft, you're technically allowed to play professional baseball.
But like you said,
I mean, you've got soccer players that are underage. There's a 15-year-old girl that plays for the San Diego Wave that actually is on their team and can actually play games. So I'm like, I think in professional sports, a way that you can. There's a loophole. There's always a loophole.
It becomes like, what is it? Dude, the term is on the tip of my tongue. It's like a guardianship. So basically, even though you're getting paid and it's going to like your guardian, basically. So it would go to like
Yeah.
your parents, basically.
Yeah. It was a very interesting week. We had a very interesting week here in MLB. Oh, by the way, Chris Sale is hurt again. By the way,
Wow.
Dude, he pitched good in the first inning too. What's crazy about that?
Yeah.
He had like 3 outs.
yeah. So it is sad to see. Do want to appreciate everyone for tuning in to today's episode. You have something to say, Blake?
Yeah, series of the week, dude. Come on, we gotta do series of the week.
Do we?
Yeah, series of the weekend, man.
What is it, Yankees Dodgers, or is it Brandon's Diamondbacks?
I say
I think it's
Diamondbacks.
Brandon's Diamondbacks. I think that's gonna be a really fun series.
Now the Yankees are getting back Josh Donaldson and Giancarlo Stanton this for this series. So something you'll very rarely hear me say, go Yankees. Take 2 or 3 from them. I would be ecstatic.
I just hope both teams have fun.
Both teams have fun. Let me look real quick. But no, it's probably Braves or Diamondbacks or
Yankees Dodgers.
Yeah, probably Yankees Dodgers.
Brave sweep.
You shut your damn mouth.
Brave sweep.
I mean, I have to look at the probables first.
The disrespect.
Ooh, Uncle Charlie versus Merrill Kelly tomorrow.
Isn't Merrill
that'd be
Kelly
fun.
that guy that couldn't even beat Japan? That's a loss for sure.
Wow, look at you. Look at you. And then
What's the other matchup?
Strider versus Ryan Nelson on Saturday.
Dude, I've been trying to trade. I've literally been trying to y'all know I have a man crush on Spencer Strider. I've literally been trying to like freaking trade for him all season long. The guy finally was like, quit sending me trade requests. So I'm just doing it just to be a jerk now. Like literally daily, I'm sending him a trade request. So hopefully, like one day he'll just actually hit okay.
Sunday is Soroka and Gallen.
Ooh, hey, that's Soroka's first
That'll be good.
start back. So that's going to be cool to see. That's actually kind of like a little segue right there. Dude, that guy's had so many fluke injuries. Like what? He hasn't pitched since what, 2022 or 2020. You know, he really hasn't like had that anything. So
not true. He actually started the other day.
Well, you know what I'm getting about that. Yeah, he did. He got blown up, but that was kind of like a let's see if he doesn't die out on the mound, basically. You know,
you didn't pitch in 22. You didn't pitch in 21.
Yeah,
and he had 2 starts in 20.
Okay,
so 3 starts. So yeah, he's definitely been out for. Yeah, he just has these fluke injuries. So hopefully,
dude, he was a stud. What?
Yeah,
in 18 and 19. So I'm rooting for that guy to get back. I like a good comeback story. Okay, I will take it back. It's going to be a 2-1. Okay. Gallen's pitching on Sunday, so you know.
So Friday for Yankees Dodgers is Severino versus Kershaw. Severino looked really good against the Padres for like 4 or 5 innings.
He did.
I was like, Yankees, if you can get that guy consistently, then maybe there's something there. Saturday they have Cole versus Grove. I think Yankees take that one then. And then
Yankees
Sunday
because Miller's pitching on Sunday.
And Germán's pitching for the Yankees. So let's see if he wises up and doesn't cheat.
How dare you? It's not cheating unless you get caught.
Except he got guy. Yeah, I don't.
It's not cheating if you just have to go wash your hands. Okay.
So yeah, I to be honest, if the Diamondbacks can take 2 or 3 from the Braves, I think because Merrill's going tomorrow. I think they have a good shot on Friday. Saturday, Spencer Strider is a strikeout machine.
It's the mustache.
Yeah.
It's a mustache.
It is.
It's nasty. And then Sunday with Gallen going, and Soroka kind of got blown up on his first start against the A's. So we'll just have to wait and see. Everyone, I do appreciate everyone for tuning into this episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You'll see all of our socials in the description box below. See y'all next time.